Hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do. So in this playlist, I am currently working on getting through the stories of Ray Bradbury collection. There's 100 tales in this collection, which I'll be reading and reviewing each one at a time. Prior to this, I once did another collection of 100 stories, so in all we will have 200 story reviews here in this playlist at some point in the future, but that's a long way off because I have a lot of work yet to do. So for today, we are talking about a 1946 short story called The Traveler. Once again, for the third story in a row, we are with the Elliot family of Mellon, Illinois, and they are not your ordinary family. We met them first in a story called The Homecoming, and then in a second story called Uncle Enar. But this is a supernatural family, a very eclectic family full of people with many diverse talents and abnormalities. We have vampires sleeping in caskets. We have an uncle with wings. And today we are looking at Cecy, the 18-year-old daughter who has the ability to astral project or to jump into the bodies of other people and creatures and living things and see the world through their eyes. So after sleeping the night away in her own body, she often lays back down in her bed and spends the day traveling and seeing the world through the eyes of other people. Her father thinks that this is basically a useless activity and that she's just a lazy teenage girl, but her mother and her insist that this is a very useful skill and that I do a lot of things to help the family, she says. One day, Uncle John, the black sheep of the family, shows up. He's frantic. He's looking for Cecy. He tries to wake her. He cannot. And he insists that she needs her help. Why? Because he feels like he's going insane. He hears church bells in his head, for one thing. And if you're a creature of the dark, church bells are a very bad thing to hear, I guess. And he says that he's been hearing these bells for 8 weeks and that he really needs to talk to Cecy. And he'd heard that in the past she had helped another relative with her own issues and that he believes that she can help him with his. He tries to wake her. He can't. So finally he resorts to going out into the town and basically stopping every person that he sees and looking into their eyes and trying to find out if that's Cecy hiding inside them. He even catches a crow and kills it because he thinks that it's Cecy, but it's not. At one point, he imagines Cecy in the water of the stream looking up at him through the eyes of a crayfish. Eventually, he does what he threatened to do, which is to turn the family in if he doesn't get his way. Basically, he's going to tell the sheriff that there's a family of weird people living secretly among you and they're monsters and you should put a stake through the heart like they did in the old days. So he goes to the sheriff, but even when he sees the sheriff, he looks into the sheriff's eyes and he imagines that this isn't the sheriff, it's actually Cecy's mother who Cecy has put into the sheriff's body to basically prevent him from doing what he sets out to do. But of course, we don't really know if this is the truth. It may just be his insanity, because he's in fact, at this point, going insane. A defeated man, he goes back to the house and he falls upon a knife, killing himself. At which point, Cecy wakes up and reveals that, you know what, that was me. I've been haunting his dreams for eight straight weeks. And I drove him insane, made him hear church bells, and you know what, Dad? My skills as an 18-year-old teenage traveler are very much good for the family and important, and you can't look at me as being useless anymore. So this is basically, I would say, in a way, Bradbury's commenting on sort of the state of teenage girls. I think even in the 40s, probably telephones and gab sessions would probably be the norm. Today we have the internet and we have cell phones, of course, and everybody likes to imagine that teenage girls are useless and they just do these things and they never stop talking and wasting their time. And that's basically what Cecy does. She spends her days traveling, looking at the world through various eyes, basically. Not doing anything of real consequence most of the time, but to them, though, they insist that these are the most important things in the world, spending time with my friends and gossiping and whatnot. But she does, as many 18-year-old girls have done, she literally drives a man insane. So I guess there is that commentary on 18-year-old girls as well. But she is, in fact, useful in her own way. Uncle John does represent a threat to the family, and she uses her particular set of skills to rid that threat. She drives a man insane, and he dies. So I guess that's not good in the end either. There is this idea of, I would say that, maybe she is truly evil. She may have vampires and all these other creatures in the family, but she's the only one who's killing people. So what does that say about the state of teenagers? I really don't know. The ending, where she pops out and says, hey, it was me all the time. A little bit shoddy, but under the deft touch of Ray Bradbury, you buy it, you believe it, you allow for it, and it's a fun little tale. As many of his tales so far in this collection have been, it's a fun little tale. Maybe not all that deep, but as always, he comments on something in society, and in this case, he takes aim at teenagers and their behavior and what they do. So, all right, guys, that was The Traveler, 1946, Ray Bradbury. Tune in again soon for more Ray Bradbury reviews. We've got another 96 or so of them to go, so I hope that you will tune in and enjoy the journey with me. But until next time, keep it creepy.